What if I told you this person was a known criminal? Would you care, or would you let his looks deter you from the fact that he's a known criminal? Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to another episode of Haire. We are doing our DSM, our disorders of social media. I'm doing back to back. Give me that credit. I'm doing back to back so we can launch this series. So basically, today's episode is PPSD. So this is pretty privileged syndrome disorder, and I'll do a couple of traits. Is this person the someone who has this, like, is it someone who is attracted to the target demographic? Because like I said, like, some people may not find me attractive. I don't know who those two people are, but some people might find me not attractive because of my skin tone, because of my features, because of my eye shape, because of I don't have a cool accent. But at the end of the day, everybody has a target demographic that they're attracted to. So in seriousness, for PPSD, they'll have complete loyalty to this person no matter what they do, no matter what crimes they're convicted of by a jury and a defense team. And then you'll also have people be envious of the fact that you have this level of sympathy from people. So my first thing that I'm going to break down is a definition for sympathy. And this is going to be basically, sympathy definition is ability to provide compassion for a situation that you are not experiencing. So I'm going to say this very nicely. This is one of the resources that is running out. So many people have no compassion, no empathy, no sympathy for others. They only care about themselves. And so when you see a group of people fall behind somebody because they're attractive, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's like, I'm glad you have sympathy, but it's for superficial reasons. So we'll talk about Jermy right quick. So y'all remember him, they call him Blue Eyes White Dragon, too much Yu-Gi-Oh. But basically this man went viral and was released because he had so much people put money on his books. Is that what you call it? They had him put money on his books so he can be able to escape release from jail quickly. And I still am stunned that this happened, but I'm not surprised that it's happened. Now, me personally, like, I feel like he's attractive to, like, the majority of people. I don't find him attractive. He looks a little skeletal. Not to be mean, I'm just saying my opinion. Some people might say I have a fat head, but I do have a fat head. These braids took forever to do, but I can definitely say for sure in that, like, for a target demographic, he has, chiseled jawline, blue eyes, fairer skin. I could definitely say, like, those are, like, common attributes, but definitely for sure, like, the loyalty, people had loyalty, sympathy, and he had a target demographic to it. So we're going to go into the different levels of how we'll be discussing ageism, the reason why you bypass, and then cheating hall pass as well for being for not having, it's basically reverse PPSD. So I would say for certain, like Jermy, you guys can name them below, people who I can say they were able to escape by, even though they did certain heinous crimes and were convicted of it, and people still stood by. They stood on business, as you would say. And I feel like this disorder deserves to be in the DSM social media, basically disorder of the social media, because it's very important to understand how the human mind works. And it's very scary, the fact that we think because someone is attractive or someone is attractive to us, they cannot mean us any harm. And this is how so many people who are attractive, so many I wouldn't say kids, because kids are kids, but I can definitely say for they're able to get away with whatever. Like, you can, like, you ever think about it, like, whenever you see a movie and you see, like, the queen cheerleader, you're always wondering, like, why does she have a great boyfriend? It's because of the fact that she's so attractive that all her other attributes are all her negative connotation, negative attributes are disregarded because of her attractiveness. So in that same aspect, like, I think it's very important, like, even in everyday life, like, you'll see people be rude to baristas who are attractive, but then reverse PPSD. They'll be nice to baristas, but the reverse PPSD is the fact that they know people are nice to you, so they're going to be there to humble you. It's their duty to humble you. But let's go into the first one is ageism. Now, ageism and pretty privilege, I covered that before in my previous series for pretty privilege. I definitely want to do a volume 2. I love doing it. But I can definitely say ageism is a big factor in pretty privilege. And ageism is basically the prejudice against someone who is older than the demographic of the majority of the attractive people at the time. The reason why I say that, because ageism, like, even though I think there's reverse ageism, because like it's kind of like if somebody calls you a baby. I'm a grown woman, please stop. Like, I'm 33, like, stop it. But I do feel like there is reverse ageism, and then ageism as well. Like, people will sit there. I still remember when two chains, 4 bracelets. I remember he started his career, he was 35, and he started his career at 35. Let a woman have started her career at 35. Like, people are calling Nicki Minaj geriatric, and I'm just like, have you seen the face card? It accepted at all stores. Like, Discover, face card is on a different level. But the fact that he was able to start his career at 35 but not be able to end it, because most women have a parenthesis shelf life in the beauty industry, so the entertainment and beauty industry, so usually by 25 you're retired model, so definitely, in fact, ageism plays a factor, because the more you age, the less people have sympathy for you. So I have on here, you have more sympathy for someone who's good looking, who looks young. So Ted Bundy, this is not in any way similar to that, but Ted Bundy would lure his victims. If you look him up incognito, don't want your computer to crash. But Ted Bundy would lure his victims and do bad things to them because he was good looking and he looked young. I truly feel like if he was aged, I feel like the victims wouldn't have helped him. Like, he would be like, oh, I hurt my leg, or I need help with something. Like, it would work because of the fact that he was young looking. And I also feel like there is a level that it's hard to sympathize with someone who's aging as well, because I noticed that whenever someone who's older is just like, oh my God, I got tricked, help me, feel bad for me, pretty girl tears, right? If she's older, no one cares. They're just like, you should have figured it out, Barbara. Like, they just, like, the compassion, I've noticed the compassion is there. Like, the compassion is not there. Like, I feel like there's still like a level of just like, well, she's not even attractive, so let's not even look at her. Like, there's a different, at least in my opinion, like, there's a different level of patience that they'll have with you for being stupid if you are not attractive. Like, I mean, if you are unconventionally attracted by everybody, I think that's BS. But like, I'm just saying, like, I do feel like there's a difference. Like, I've seen younger women do mistakes that older women do, and the older woman gets chastised, not because of time, because people's first thing they love to say, or they love to stick out, like, oh, well, time wise, she's had more time to mature. You don't mean that. You don't mean that. I feel like it's really like people try to sneak it in there, but I truly feel like there is a certain level of judgment that they have for you if you are older and you are not attractive, especially if you're not aging, parentheses, well. So it's going to tie into why you bypass this reason. So they said did you know this? Fun fact, when you stare at an attractive woman, you get a shot of dopamine. Your eyes dilate, your heartbeat increases. So I feel like you're so hopped up on hormones, you don't even realize this person's not a good person. They're not good. Okay. They're not a good person. They're not good. But definitely for sure, like with Jail Bay, like I really feel like the fact that even after, I think he got a billionaire heiress pregnant and then he left her as well. Either way, he left his wife. He left his wife that held it down for him. And no one found fault in this. They were like, oh, I mean, he's attractive. Like, he left his wife to go and be baby daddy to a billionaireess. Like, City Boys Up a Million. Like, he left his wife and people just kind of bypassed it. Another thing, too, is like with Team Jackson, what's happening? Why does he still have followers after what you found out he was cheating on his wife repeatedly? Like, he still has his follower account didn't shake. That told me all I need to know. I don't think he's attractive because he's such a disgusting person, but like, The fact that he still has followers tells me all I need to know about Pretty Privilege Sympathy. Like, they somehow twisted it in his favor, where they were just like, oh well, if she would have dressed better, maybe he wouldn't have cheated. Really? Really? So that brings me into cheating. This is a perfect segue. So we're going to talk about cheating real quick and Pretty Privilege Sympathy disorder. So when Bahati, the big thing that happened with Adam Levine. If you don't know, Adam Levine is from Maroon 5. This love has... I don't know the lyrics. I don't know the lyrics. That was bad. I'll stick to my day job. No, literally, because I need to pay my bills. But I really feel like with the Maroon 5 situation, the lead singer from Maroon 5, his wife is Bahati. She's a supermodel from South Africa. And I feel like there was a level of like, well, she's hot. Why would he do that? He didn't cheat because she's not a baddie. He cheated because he wanted to cheat. Like there was so much sympathy rolling in for her. But then on the other hand, I want to say her name is, I wrote it down, Rachel. Is it Rachel? I don't know, but I want to say her name is Rachel or something. And she gained weight, and her husband cheated with Eddie Murphy's ex-wife, Nicole Murphy. Final answer. Nicole Murphy cheated with his wife, and Nicole Murphy keeps it fit. Like, she's what I would want to look like after having 4 kids. I mean, of course she's had a couple of enhancements, but it's mostly she's a gym rat. She's in the gym. That's how I want to look like after 4 kids. But I will not be having 4 kids. But I can definitely say for certain that like she is the definition of like, people were not sympathizing with her. They were like, well, I mean, if you would have kept it tight like Nicole Murphy, he wouldn't have cheated on you. Excuse me? You're trying to tell me the only reason why I've been cheated on because I'm not keeping it tight. Do you know how many literal supermodels get cheated on, and they're in top shape because their job is to stay looking good, and you're gonna sit here and be like, oh, well, I don't have any sympathy, but this really falters a PPSD. The fact that Pretty Privilege Sympathy disorder, the fact is the matter that like y'all literally sat there and like basically they're in the same situation. Both their husbands were unfaithful and they've been married to their husband for a while, and y'all sat there and was just like, well, I mean, she wasn't good looking, so she gained weight because she was in like a couple of 90s movies. I want to say she was in Boomerang with Eddie Murphy. If you don't know who that is, you're too young to be listening to me talk. But I don't know. There was just like that aspect threw me off. Cause I was like, wait a minute. So you mad? Let me make sure I got this right. Sorry, my battery dying. So you got this. So you're trying to tell me that you're sympathizing with her because she's good looking. You don't even know what happened in the marriage. All we know is what they put out. That's the one mindset needs to keep it. Celebrities, that all we know is what they put out. But definitely for sure, I have a solution. So my solution is don't judge a book by its cover. Now, I know it sounds cliche. I know you have that written on your wall freshman year, but I really want you to not judge a book by its cover. There are some people who are you can tell, because some of us have like the same head shape. And I feel like when we're creating, I feel like there's a couple of copies, some of us have the same head shape. Like I look like my head shape, I have the same head shape as 7th Streeter. But you can tell some people, you can tell God was like, I need to go on my workshop. I need to work on this person. All right. Like there are some people that are truly just breathtaking. Like you're out of oxygen when they walk in the room, breathtaking. And they took their time. Okay. But they've done heinous things. And people have been so quick to forgive them. Like, even when they show like a jail picture, they're just like, I mean, what she do? Like, they'll show a jail picture and like she's really attractive. And they'll be like, okay, well, what did she do that she really hurt that person? These are criminals in beauty masks. Okay, they're criminals. I want you guys to not be taking advantage of that. They're criminals in beauty masks. Okay. My next one is that everyone deserves grace. Like, I know empathy and sympathy is chilling out the more you guys get narcissistic because of social media. It makes you dissociative to how people really feel. But I do want you guys to still have sympathy and give everybody grace. Give me grace. Give yourself grace. Like, no one's perfect. Last time I checked, humans were made flawedly and perfect. So don't forget to subscribe, share. It's Claire here.